He is Jalen Rose. I'm
What
David
up, Jal?
Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
Shakur Stevenson joins us later on in the show, but we start with an NBA bubble update. Apparently, there are some players that are concerned about the bubble and joining the bubble. One of them is Carmelo Anthony, and here's what he had to say.
As far as actually playing and going back down into Orlando, I'm still up in the air a little bit because I really don't, we don't have all the details. We don't know a lot of information. So until we have that, it's kind of hard to just, commit to it 100%.
Jalen, is there trouble in the bubble?
There's no trouble. I'm going to tell you what he sounds like. On this show, we have a segment called What's Your Number? For me, he just sounds like a millionaire. I want to tell everybody something. Playing basketball is not essential business. There's certain people walking the face of the earth that think when they go in the supermarket, those people just are gung-ho to put their lives on the line, potentially to catch COVID-19 to help you get groceries. No, they need to feed their families. These are made men, Jacoby. You got to think about the marathon, not the sprint. And you outlined very well some of the terms in the bubble. Over 2 or 3 months from the room to the bar to the pool, rinse and repeat without your family for the first 6 or 7 weeks and no real plan of what's going to happen if somebody actually fails. Of course, there's going to be apprehension for anyone when it's time to return to their job that isn't currently going to it as they normally were before the pandemic hit.
When they first sort of brought up the idea of Orlando and going down there, I immediately started thinking like, wow, that'd be like working and vacation all at the same time. The kids will play in the pool. It'll be so much fun. But then you start getting into the details and the policies and, oh, wait, you can't have your family down there for about 2 months and you can't leave the bubble. If you leave the bubble, you have to self-quarantine yourself. It doesn't seem as much fun as it used to seem as we get closer to the date. But I do believe that eventually both sides will end up in the bubble and we will get NBA basketball back on July 31st, and I can't wait. But that does mean that some players need to be in shape to play. We have a little update on one of my favorite players, Luka Doncic. His trainer said that he's not in the best shape right now and he needs to get himself into shape. So Jalen, how long do you think it'll take for an NBA player to get back into game shape?
It'll take Luka 30 days to get back playing at the level that he was playing, because you initially got to go through the phase of where you're just gearing your body up. That's actually just the calisthenics, the stretching, the getting loose, getting the rigor back up, getting your body used to taking that pound and that running, that jumping, and then you continue to amp it up. You running and jumping and playing. You running and jumping, doing drills, playing 5-on-5. And then all of a sudden you start to feel better about yourself. You start to get back into your game shape. But it's not a 7-day thing. It takes like a month for not only you to kind of get back into the shape that he was in, but also the kind of conditioning that allows him to perform at an elite level.
I feel like it goes one of two ways in the quarantine. You've got players like James Harden and Ben Simmons who've been hitting the gym and, using the quarantine to stay focused and losing weight and getting in shape. I mean, look at skinny James Harden right there. But there's also the other way. I've gone the other way where I've just been in the quarantine, just constantly snacking, gaining weight, not working out that hard. So I'm more of on the Luka quarantine plan than the Ben Simmons, James Harden quarantine plan. What is it that you're trying to say, Mr. Rose?
You know how much I stand up for the beard and all lefties. That reminded me of Luther Vandross. I might like Big James more than I like Small James. I'm just saying, we shall see.
You're the best. Moving on to a big man, Joel Embiid. He seems ready to go. Here's what he had to say about returning to the NBA. The following quote: "We've been going at it the past 4 weeks about 6 times a week, just trying to get a head start and getting ready for whatever's coming. I have something to prove, and I feel whenever that opportunity comes, it's going to be my time." We all remember how Joel Embiid's season ended last season with him crying, walking through the tunnel in Toronto. So this quote had me thinking about who his competition is. Is Joel Embiid the best center in the NBA?
No. That's Anthony Davis. I would say he's second, but he has the talent of AD AD a better three-point shooter, but Joel is a better post player. It's just more bulky and more powerful. And yes, he has something to prove. Because if I was lining up on a Saturday morning to pick the most talented players in the NBA, he's definitely going in the top 8 or something like that.
That's fair.
Dribble, pass, and shoot, block shots, get boards, contest shots. And so him being healthy as somebody that's been injury plagued his entire career, he may be something special when the playoffs start back up. And the way their season ended last year, he and Ben Simmons will have something to prove. And don't sleep on Philly.
That's one of the things I really like about the bubble and the whole gap and then restart. It does feel like the NBA is once again wide open because there's no true momentum going into Orlando. So you could see a team like Philly come out of the East and maybe even win a championship. I'm just glad that he seems so ready and so confident for it. Jalen, we had a landmark decision yesterday from NASCAR. They put out the following statement. Here's what they had to say. Quote, "The presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans, our competitors, and our industry. Bringing people together around a love for racing and the community that it creates is what makes our fans and sport special. The display of the Confederate flag will be prohibited from all NASCAR events and properties." Jalen, what does this decision mean to you?
This decision means to me they finally woke up and realized Black people actually make money, spend money, and enjoy sports. If I got to show up at work or as a fan and I'm seeing things that are demeaning to me or my history, guess what? I'm not going to support your product. And so that's why you don't see many Black drivers. That's why you don't see many Black fans. That's why that's not one of the more popular sports in the United States of America. It's a great step towards, I guess, 2020, as I'll call it. But I can't front. I am not going to celebrate at this time a professional sport deciding that they wouldn't throw the Confederate flag in everybody's face at each of their events. But congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, this certainly falls under something that should have happened before. Glad that it actually finally did happen. I think there's a lot of other things like that in sports, like the football team name in Washington. It's like, we know that's going to change, and it shouldn't have taken this sort of unrest in order to get it done. So why not just change it now? And again, like the use of the Confederate flag and allowing the Confederate flag and celebrating the Confederate flag for this sport is something that was wrong in the past. I'm glad that they changed it moving forward, but it's one of many things that I think we will soon see change in the world of sports. And next, we have Shakur Stevenson, fresh off a body blow knockout on Tuesday night. He joins us right now in just 2 minutes. Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby. Jalen, who is joining us right now?
You know how much I love the sweet science and love to pay homage to boxing. Shakur Stevenson is joining the show. And put him on camera because I want everybody to get a close look at the future and current face of boxing. He's currently 14-0 with 8 KOs. Current WBO featherweight champion, knocking kids out with body blows on Tuesday night. Congratulations to a terrific performance. What was it like to have top-ranked ESPN, Jay Prince, and you on the big stage and put on the performance the way you did?
I mean, it was a good feeling to know I was bringing boxing back and having like all my family and friends watching me on TV. It was an amazing feeling. I put on the performance that I did, and I'm glad everybody tuned in.
I noticed during the fight that you seemed to injure your right hand right around the 5th round. Are you okay?
Yeah, it was my left hand, but I went and got an MRI right after the fight, or X-ray after the fight, and they said it was good, everything good. I'm ready to go again, and all of it be September.
Fighting without a crowd, what was that like?
I mean, it was a little weird because, like, I would punch him, and I wouldn't get like no reaction from nobody like outside the ring, so it was kind of like it was kind of new to me. I'm used to like once I hit somebody, like the crowd saying "oh," or like the crowd being in tune to what's going on. So it was kind of new to me, not getting no reaction from the crowd at all.
Shakur, you have never lost a fight. 14-0, clean record. Who do you want to fight next?
Ooh.
I want to fight Leo Santa Cruz. I think Leo Santa Cruz and me will be a big fight in LA in front of a lot of his Mexican fans. I think Leo Santa Cruz is a good fighter. I respect the game, but I want to fight Leo Santa Cruz next.
And don't underestimate everybody. He said, bring back boxing. I'm going to tell you a couple of people he reminds me of. The charisma of Sugar Ray Leonard. The elusiveness of Floyd Money Mayweather. Am I wrong to use that comparison?
I mean, you ain't the only one that's using it. Everybody else is using the same comparison with Floyd, but I'm still my own type of person. Like I got my own style. I learned from Floyd. I learned from Andre Ward. I learned from Pernell Whitaker. So you're not wrong using the comparison. That's like your opinion. That's everybody else's opinion too. So I was just with him like 2 days ago.
Oh, that's love. How you doing?
Yeah, he good. We was just talking. He was talking about my fight and stuff like that, and how good I am and all that kind of stuff. So he respected my game too.
Well, two of you are undefeated, and I hope you continue your undefeated streak. And obviously, with all the unrest in the nation right now, recently Patrick Mahomes says he's determined to sort of, help the world. How important do you think that athletes get involved in this certain political climate?
I think it's real important because we got a fan base and a following of the people, and I feel like they see us doing it. A lot of other people gonna want to join in and do it too. So I think it's real important that the athletes get involved. I'm gonna try to get involved as much as possible too now. I'm not fighting, and I can go out with my mask and protest and help other people too.
And stand on the shoulders of giants. As you know, you had so many fights, and you're a student of the game. You seem like to have old soul. There was a time where athletes were suppressed having their opinion. How confident in the fact that you can still perform being outspoken about things that you believe in and they don't conflict?
I mean, I'm a little confident in it. I think that like with boxing, it's kind of a little bit different. I feel like in our sport, they want us to be a certain way when we my color and we black and stuff like that. They want us to be a certain way and want us to be the bad guy, and that's how they plan for us to sell tickets. But I want to do something different. Like I want to reach the Floyd Mayweather stardom without having to be the bad guy and the villain and take that role. I want to have my own role, be like a how you say Sugar Ray Leonard was, that kind of style. Like it's not real. It's rare in boxing. You got a black young African American fighter that could fight, and he also, you feel me, like it's rare. So I want to be the type of person that could step inside myself and become a star without taking that villain role.
Well, Shakur, you're certainly on your way to stardom, the future face of boxing right here on Jalen Jacoby. Thank you so much for making the time. When we come back, Bruce Arians is quarantining quarterbacks? We'll explain. We're back in just 2 minutes. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. As the NFL prepares to resume with a new season, some coaches have decided that they're going to quarantine a quarterback. Bruce Arians said that he's going to quarantine one of his quarterbacks. He's got Tom Brady, Blaine Gabbert, and then Ryan Griffin. I bet Ryan Griffin is somewhere like, I don't even get to work with Tom Brady. Like, I don't even get to go to the meetings. Is this good or bad news for Ryan Griffin?
No. First off, I'm not buying into this. Bruce Arians is an OG in the game, and so is Tom Brady. They chilling with their fams anyway. They just bringing those other two guys along for the ride and forcing them to be the guinea pigs while they digest the playbook. Neither one of those guys are going to play a down this year unless they up 7 touchdowns or Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl and they up and he wanted to pour Gatorade over Bruce Arians' head. He just understands that's the most important position in the league. You think he'd be quarantining with Jameis? I think he threw 30 interceptions.
Poor Ryan Griffin. He was so excited to learn from Tom Brady, to hold the clipboard for Tom Brady, and to come to find out, he gets a phone call like, oh, no, you can't even be in the same room as Tom Brady. You're literally not allowed to be around Tom Brady. I want to thank Shakur Stevenson for coming by. Make sure you listen to our podcast, exclusive content with Shakur. Coming up next, highly questionable, Dan
That was a great guest.
Yeah, okay, cool.